So I just want to talk about Marvel Rivals in general in this video. I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the game, because it's a game that I really like, So let's start with, first of all, the good. Marvel Rivals, the characters are so well made. Like, I don't mean balancing, I don't mean their moves or like all that. I mean the character design itself. I don't think there's any game, apart from, some of them, but I mean on this kind of scale that captures the essence of so many of these characters. You can swing across the map as Spider-Man, as fucking Peter Parker, I can play Groot, I can play the fucking Star-Lord, I can play Psylocke, I can play as Magic, the Queen of Limbo. I can play Rocket Raccoon. It's so much fun, like playing characters that you've read. Some people, their fathers read these comics, their grandfathers read these comics, and they read these comics. Now they are playing these iconic characters, the fucking boy blue Captain America. It's absolutely exhilarating. It's beautiful. For real, they captured the essence of so many of these characters. From their voice lines, they talk like how they would talk, they walk like how a lot of them would walk. It's beautiful. Gameplay wise, also, they did a stellar job. Absolutely beautiful, phenomenal job. Like, I mean, the gameplay itself, how everything moves, how if you told me how would like a Star-Lord or a Magic or a Groot or a fucking The Thing work in an actual game, I honestly wouldn't have thought of so many of these things. Like they captured the essence of these characters, like how they fight in the comics. They transferred it, a lot of them, flawlessly into the game. I mean, it's fucking annoying seeing Hawkeye, but I mean, Hawkeye is fucking a beast on aim. He can hit a fly from how many kilometers away does he usually say? So yeah, it kind of makes sense that motherfucker can hit a fucking strategist from across the map. It makes sense, though he should still be nerfed, but like, you get it. So they captured the gameplay essence of so many of these characters, and it's absolutely beautiful. Also, when it comes to gifting, like, I'm not making any money yet from YouTube, so every skin you see me with in this game are the free skin, and I have so many. This is the first game that I have so many skins that I didn't pay for shit. Like, when I do start getting money, I do want to buy some skins. Like, I would like to be buying skins, but like, I mean, you don't need to. They give you free skins for just playing the game. And that is something most companies don't do. Like, you're going to have to spend at least some money to get this amount of free skins. I have free skins for most. I think I have 2 for Venom. I think I have 2 for Groot. So many skins, you understand? So I think when it comes to gifting, rewarding players for playtime, like, they are one of the best, and I absolutely love that about the company. And also when it comes to listening to player feedback, I mean, for the most part, they actually do listen, even though they listen, but sometimes they don't actually listen. They don't understand. Let me put it like that. They do listen, but a lot of times they don't understand, but they do try their best. And I think I will have to commend them for that. It's very good and it's very nice. That being said, I think that's all that's about it for the good. Let's talk about the bad. When it comes to the bad, first of all, I think we have to talk about balancing. This game has this terrible habit of rewarding mediocrity. And I understand, I get it. The game wants to be casual, which I don't even know if it wants to be, because it wants to do pro gaming and all that. So like, what do you want to be? Do you want to be like, or do you want to just be, I don't get it. But I think they kind of want to be everything at once. That's why the balancing is so fucking shit. Like sometimes the game just rewards you for doing the bare minimum, but then punishes those that do the most. I think one of the biggest BS statements I've ever heard from anybody is when they say the game, why are you complaining? The game is trying to be, everything is broken, so nothing is broken. That is the biggest pile of horseshit I've ever seen. That is such shit. It's a lie. Because if the devs really wanted everything to be broken, then that's fine. Why not give Spider-Man back his original damage and hitbox? The radius of his uppercut. Why not give him everything back? Give him the Venom team-up too. I mean, you see, we are going, everything is broken, right? And we gave Invisible Man the ability to heal herself. We keep buffing support. Why don't we buff Dive? Allow Dive E too, right? Everything is overpowered, right? Why not allow them to be able to do anything? You understand? Why not give Black Panther 3 spears? Give him back his OG damage, give him 3 spears. Reduce all the cooldowns. I mean, the supports can heal themselves even more. So let's give Dive all their shit back. Give Iron Fist Season 1 Iron Fist that level of mania that he can punch through the air and target flyers. Give him everything back, man. Let's go crazy. Let everything burn. Why not? Why is it that the Dive characters, especially, are fucking left to be mediocre, but we keep hey, they want everything to be broken, so nothing is broken. That's crazy. That's like the biggest level of gaslighting, and it's mostly support players that say that BS. That is gaslighting, and it's BS. It's a lie. They don't want every character to be meta. They want much easier characters to be meta. I don't know why. That's why they keep allowing Hela to be able to two-tap you across the map. But they call it quits once Spider-Man has just a little bit more damage. And I want you to know, everybody, I think if you watch this channel, you know I'm a Vanguard. I don't play Spider-Man or Black Panther, but even I can see as a Vanguard, because most people that be, subjective in this game are mostly Vanguards. Like, we can be pragmatic. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna say we're buffing supports, then we have to buff dive. It only makes sense. It's like allowing this way. This is why people are complaining so much about the seasons now, because buffing supports and then leaving dive to be mediocre is like back in the wild. It's like when you allow the gazelles and the wildebeest to suddenly be self-conscious and have more common sense, and more and more fight off the lions and the fucking hyenas. That will drive those animals to extinction, and when those animals go extinct, the herd animals will become too much. And what do? They destroy the wildlife. They eat too much grass. They eat all the vegetation, cause erosion. It's bad. And that is literally a good analogy for what is going on now. That's why we have poke slop and healing slop, because they decided to nerf their counters. Dive is literally the counters of the support and the fucking poke slop. If you make Spider-Man deal more damage, he can fucking attack that Hawkeye further away without having to get too close to him and be two-tapped in the head. You remove Hela's stun, and then Black Panther can blitz her across the map. So now she has to be, watch or swap. You understand? She has to be better or swap. That's how it's supposed to work. It's common sense. But the devs don't like people to be able to use. The devs don't want you to even really use your common sense. They just want you, okay, just play these other things that I want you to play and just have fun. Poke slop, healing slop, it doesn't matter. We were literally crying about the healing problem, and they decided the devs have this funny thing where a character is a problem, and they decide to either increase the cooldown or increase the time it takes to get that ability. Like, let's say it's an ult, they increase the amount of points it takes you to get the ult. Like, I'm like, this doesn't eliminate the problem. If it takes you 1 second to punch somebody and then suddenly you increase it to 3 seconds, it still does the same amount of damage. It's just, okay, before I can do it again, I need to now wait 3 seconds, but it still did the same amount of damage. It's not the time to do damage between the first damage that people are complaining about. People are complaining about the damage. Do you understand? The issue is the move itself, not the time it takes for the person to do the move again. I don't understand. This thing is not common. It's not like rocket science. It's just game development. Listen to the community. Take notes from all three branches of the ranks: high, middle, low. You understand? What do you think? And then just find a middle ground, and boom, and we have a movie. People will still complain, but at least if you find a middle ground, it's way, way, way less. It's that simple. But they keep making this shit hard for no odd reason. You really think strategist players will complain about Daredevil because of 25 HP? Really? Is that the issue? That's really what you thought? 25 HP is the reason why he could melt strategists? Really? Like, I don't understand these devs, man. I don't get them. Like, the common sense it's mind-numbing for real. I think another place we need to talk about when we talk about the bad is the actual distribution in roles. People be like, why are we giving Marvel Rivals more flack for something that a lot of multiplayer games also suffer from, which is more duelists compared to Vanguards and strategists? Yes, we are going to give them more flack for 2 reasons. I'll list those reasons now. Reason number 1 is that they have those games to fucking learn from. It's like being a younger one, which is, I know, because I'm the last born of my own family. They would be more angry with me if I make the same mistakes they made, my older siblings, because I literally have them to learn from. I'm supposed to learn from them. Marvel Rivals, you have Overwatch and all those other games to look from, see what people complain about. Triple support, too much healing, too much damage, ranks, roles, matchmaking and all that, and you still make the same BS mistakes. That's why people are more hard on them, because you're making the same mistakes people have experienced in other games, thinking that you guys, because you can literally read those playbooks and not make the same mistakes, you are putting yourself head first into those mistakes. It's insane. It's genuinely insane. I'm like, why are you making those same mistakes? And number 2, a lot of those games, I think all those games have to make characters from scratch. Marvel Rivals has to make characters from scratch, but I mean not really scratch, because they literally have decades of comic books to adapt from. They're not making any characters from scratch except I think Luna Snow, but they are not like making characters from scratch right now. Every character, like apart from her, is a character from the comics. I think I don't read Jeff, but I think is he from comics too? I don't even know. But like you get what I mean? Like you have decades of material to draw from. That's why when I see people saying, okay, yeah, people have been saying, yeah, they planned out the whole first year. I really want, like, I mean, I know you guys won't care because that one is mostly duelists that say, well, don't be too hard on them. They planned it out for a year. That is dumb designing. How would you design a whole year where it's still, you dropped more duelists than the other two roles combined? And then the next set of characters that are still dropping are still mostly duelists. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? And then what we start the new year with? Another duelist in Deadpool. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? What is this design, bro? Like, I'm like, yo, that shit, it blows my mind because, like I was saying, you have the comics to draw from. There is absolutely no reason why this game did not just drop with 10 vanguards, 10 strategists, and 12 duelists. I think that was how many that dropped, right? On release. On release, it was, is it 31 or 32 characters, I think? Maybe, or is it 30? Can't remember. But yeah, there's absolutely no reason why it wasn't just 12 duelists, 10 vanguards, 10 strategists. Let me list off the top of my head vanguards that I'm not even going to mention the one that they dropped. They still dropped Thing and Emma and all that, but I mean, there is no reason why Colossus wasn't dropped in this game from launch. There's absolutely no reason. Magic's brother, sorry. He would have had a mad team up with her. Maybe she imbues him with Limbo's Fury or something, and his Osmium. What's the name of that? His armor? Is it Osmium? I think it's Osmium, right? Correct me in the comments. His armor, his iron armor glows red, and maybe he gets extra damage. There's no reason why Colossus didn't drop with this game. Okay, I would say they didn't want to drop Juggernaut because they wanted things to have a lot of moves. So let's leave Juggernaut. Dr. Octopus. Why wasn't Dr. Octopus dropped? The Lizard, Sandman, Rhino. Kingpin could have been dropped too. He's already in all these things on I think people you can see him in the New York Times Square game mode something. He could have been dropped too. Sabretooth could have had a mad team up with Wolverine. How many have I listed now? All that would have made it 10 vanguards on launch. Easy. You could have selected which ones you wanted. Easy. Let's talk strategists. I want to say Iceman, but they already dropped Luna Snow, so let's leave Iceman first. Though I would have preferred Iceman to Luna Snow. I love X-Men. Fuck Luna Snow. Fuck that bitch. But they wanted to drop their own characters, at least as one of the launch characters. Okay, no problem. They could have dropped Kitty Pryde, White Fox, Mr. Sinister, Mr. Negative. He could have been having some negative healing that would have been mad. Jubilee, Silver Surfer. They could have even dropped Quicksilver too. Though I wouldn't want to waste Quicksilver as a strategist, though he wouldn't be bad as a strategist, but I would have loved him as a duelist. Now I wouldn't mind him as a strategist because there's so many duelists, but honestly, if they had dropped the roles more equal, I wouldn't have minded Quicksilver as a fucking duelist, man. And they would have been tough. You understand? These, like, how many have I called now? Easily, they would have been able to do 10 vanguards, 12 duelists, 10 strategists. Easy peasy. They would have dropped it, the roles would have been evenly distributed, and then all the characters they're dropping now would have fitted right into each role more, nicely and everything, you understand? But then they decided to drop it this wild way after seeing all the mistakes all those older games made that they had to spend a long time correcting, and then decide to go the same route and make the same mistakes. Like, that's why people are giving them more flack, even though other games have made the same thing, because they've made those mistakes. You have source material and you have them to learn from, and then you're still making the same mistakes. So what's now the point of having those past playbooks to learn from? Do you understand? Then now when it comes to the ugly, I think we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Oh my goodness. The matchmaking of this game is genuinely horseshit. Fuck. I've never seen a matchmaking as terrible as this. Yo, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. Let's just call it simply, the Marvel Rivals matchmaking is very bad. It's very, very bad. I was just thinking to myself, watching their description of their matchmaking, I was like, does anybody not think that's crazy? Like, the thing that they even agreed to explain, I didn't say they said everything, but the one they even agreed to tell us. You guys looked us in the eye and said your matchmaking prioritizes queue time over, like, if you can't find an equal match, you just fuck it, just play a game. Don't allow them to leave the game, play a game. And then the people that were defending it were just like, see, they said it's not EOMM. I'm like, bro, it doesn't need to be EOMM. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't know what EOMM is. I'm just saying Like, I know what it is, but I mean, just leave that away. This matchmaking itself is what I'm talking about. The Marvel Rivals matchmaking is not good. Bro, I had a match. I think I'll put the picture here, maybe if I see it. I just screenshotted it. I think the other team went, I was just seeing, it was on, every of them was on like 32 and like 3 or 4 or something. My whole team was on like 5 and this, 4 and this. I was like, I think one person ran away. I didn't even blame him. I was like, they held us at spawn. A matchmaking that saw these 12 sets of players, queued it up in such a way that one team so dominated the other team to that extent, and they look me in the eye and say, it's just a coincidence. Everybody complains the same thing, especially in the rank up games. The first rank up game is usually like that, and it's a coincidence. How? Like, come on now, come on. It needs to change. The game is so good, it doesn't need this matchmaking, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't need queue times. You can take your time. I wouldn't mind waiting 5 minutes for a match. You can take your time, it's cool. Yo, do you know what happened after that game? I checked the other teams' queue time, history. I think maybe 3 or 4 of them maybe were like peaked GM1, GM2. My peak in this game is Diamond 1, and then the other highest peak on my team was Diamond 2. Now I was like, if I remember correctly, didn't they say in their game, in the description of their matchmaking, that like they find the general average of the team and then split equally amongst the teams? So like, if there are 4 peak GMs in this team, like this group of 12, shouldn't the average be GM? That means shouldn't it be split amongst, let's say for instance, 2 of those GM players on that second team would be put on my team? Then since, you know, I think the other 2 players were now Diamond was their peak, so you can leave them there because there are 2 diamonds on my team, but then you would carry 2 because they, like I said, the highest on my team were me and another person were peak diamond, the others were peak plat, because currently I've not been playing a lot, so currently I'm on plat. So like the other 4 that this rank is actually their highest rank in this game, platinum, you would leave 2 here, then carry 2 to the other team, right? Like, I'm making sense, right? So that would make it, each team would have 2 GMs, 2 diamonds, and then 2 plats, right? Very equal, very nice game, right? How did the matchmaking look at all these 12 and decide to put 4? Coincidentally, right? No, of course, it's a coincidence, mind you. 4 of this in one team, and then beautifully, if I remember, it was my rank up game, right? It's just a coincidence, remember, it's all in my head. That's what I'm saying. Whether you want to believe it or not, this matchmaking is ass. It's not necessary. This game can do fantastically well with a more well-balanced matchmaking. There is no reason why a matchmaking should set you in a match and then you absolutely stomp the other team or get stomped. That should be a rarity. If the matchmaking is doing its job well, it should be rare. Nobody even asks, why is it so rare to get draws in your match? Except I think amongst the very, very highest. Why is it so rare to get draws? How many draws do each of you have? Just answer it in the comment sections. How many draws? We'll be talking about a game where the matchmaking is supposedly supposed to find 6v6 teams of equal skill and standing. And then suddenly, one team is so absolutely stomping the other team cannot come out of the spawn door. I mean the actual spawn door. And that's what people are not mentioning. This matchmaking leads to so many things. It's like a tree. It's a tree that has branches that lead to other things. This matchmaking leads to an epidemic of smurfing. Because this person is less likely to smurf if he sees match history something like this. Win-win, loss, draw. Loss, win-win-win, loss, draw. You understand? Like something more balanced. And then the losses are not heavy, and then the wins are not heavy. It's all good matches most of the time. Maybe one stomp. One time he gets stomped out of like 15 matches. It's not common, it's rare. You know, the matchmaking is doing its job. He's taking his time and he's finding good wins and good, tough losses, but like he's like, shit. Alright. The matchmaking also leads to people not knowing how to take accountability. How do you expect the one Moon Knight that just went 5 games in a row where he won everything and he stomped the other team, and maybe he went MVP twice, that he's suddenly on a 2-game losing streak, to ever think that he is the problem? How do you want him to think that? He just went 5 games in a row, 5, 7, 6, where he won every single game. His team was cooking. And then they battered the other team, stomped them. Maybe 1 or 2 of them, they held them at spawn. The other team couldn't come out of spawn. You expect that person that is on a second loss now to actually think that he might be the problem? He might need to swap this match? Of course not. It also leads to, like I was saying, it leads to smurfing too, because that person now just went on a fucking 4-game stomp streak where he was fucking cooked. Some people, like me, I just decide right now what I just do is I just fucking off the game. I'm playing so many other games, man. Yo, you guys can follow my other channel. I'm posting walkthroughs, just having fun. Like, I'm posting other games, man. I'm having fun with this shit. Because I've been traveling, actually, that's why I wasn't playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. So, like, now I'm playing so many games. Like, instead of me to go on a 5-game losing streak at a stretch in this game, I switch to something else and have fun. For some people, because Marvel Rivals is now like an addiction, it's all of us are a bit addicted, but some are worse than others. So instead of him to leave the game, he's like, he still wants that high of winning, but not from quick play. He wants the high of winning in comp, seeing that point increase. So what does he do? He picks up Hawkeye and then creates an alt account because it's so easy. Also, it's so easy, and in like a few hours, you can get to the level 10 or level whatever required to fucking start playing comp. And then you see him in Bronze 3, one-tapping motherfuckers going 50 and 7. Or am I even saying 7? Like 50 and 5. Fucking curb stomping bronze or silver people. Then the higher he goes. Then suddenly I'm seeing him in my plat game. This motherfucker has like fucking 10 hours on fucking Hawkeye, and I'm saying, how are you two-tapping me across the map? It's insane. Why are you smurfing? We're all going through this matchmaking together. Please, have mercy on me. Go and play your rank, bro. You shouldn't be in my rank. I saw a comment on that one video, I think one YouTube video I was watching. The guy said, in defense of smurfing as a new smurf, I was like, there's no fucking way. He was like, do you ever feel the rush of wanting to play? And I was like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? I think the person that replied him was like, yo, you are part of the fucking problem. Nobody cares about your rush for adrenaline. Go and play your rank. What the fuck what are you talking about, bro? You're literally, bro, man. So, of course, all these things lead to multiple things. It leads to lack of taking accountability. It leads to smurfing. It leads to the existential battle with toxicity in this game. A person is less likely to be toxic. I'm not even defending it, but we have to call it a spade a spade. A person is less likely to be toxic when the person is going on more healthier runs. Win-win, loss, draw, win-win. You understand? And those matches are more tight. And the person just went on a 5-game win streak and then is on a 7-game losing streak. He's tilted out of his mind. And then some people don't have the self-control to fucking talk well to others or just fucking off the game. Some people become assholes. You understand? So the game's matchmaking is a circle that is branching out to other problems that are plaguing the game. And Marvel Rivals has refused to answer it. They're on a good start, I guess, with placements, but placements are horseshit too, because I'm like, why? I thought what placements would be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought placements would be like, you play those 10 games and maybe you take a couple hours to determine your rank. It will check you individually, not your team, and check you individually. And also, I thought you wouldn't be able to stack. I'm like, what's the point of stacking? If you can still stack, then why the placements? You brought back heavy stacking also. So somebody can just have his team carry him, they can just carry each other throughout the whole 10 games, and then you put them in a higher rank. Why? What the fuck is now the point? What's the actual point? Placements are supposed to be individual skill, you're supposed to weigh it individually. Like I got SVP battle for my life solo tanking, and then because my team lost, you say I'm supposed to be in this low rank. Why? You're supposed to check the whole 10, check how I did, and then we can take the whole day. Maybe I can only play quick play until everything is done. By the next day, I see what rank you placed me. That should be how it's done, and it's only solo queuing. But here we are. So that's all I want to talk about, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? What do you think Marvel Rivals should do? How should they correct all these things? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.